You know what's funny about life? The moments that completely flip everything upside down never announce themselves. They don't send a warning. They just happen. And for Marcus Webb, it happened at 11:47 on a Tuesday night, in the middle of a conference room on the 34th floor of a building most people only looked up at from the street below. Let me take you back to where this story really starts. Marcus was 32 years old, and he was doing what any good father does, whatever it takes. His daughter Lily was 6, obsessed with dinosaurs and strawberry pancakes, and completely unaware that her dad was quietly drowning. The divorce had gutted him financially, not because of bad decisions or reckless living, but because life sometimes just piles everything onto one person at the same time and dares them to hold it together. He had lost his job as a warehouse supervisor when the company downsized. He had fought for custody and won primary placement for Lily, which was everything. But it also meant his expenses were real and constant. Rent, daycare, groceries, the occasional dinosaur toy that he absolutely could not afford, but bought anyway, because she looked at it with those eyes. So when his neighbor mentioned that a commercial cleaning company was hiring for overnight shifts at a downtown office building, Marcus signed up the same day. The pay wasn't remarkable, but the hours worked. Lily would be asleep. His sister could stay over a few nights a week. The math barely added up, but barely was enough. The job was physical. Moving furniture, scrubbing floors, wiping down every surface in offices used by people who never thought about the person cleaning up after them. Marcus didn't mind the invisibility. He was used to working hard without an audience. He'd been doing it his whole life. What he didn't expect was her. Victoria Chen was the CEO of Hartwell Innovations, a tech consulting firm that occupied the top 3 floors of the building. She was 38, sharp in the way that came from years of proving herself in rooms that weren't built for her. Her team ran lean and fast, and they regularly worked until midnight, which is why on an ordinary Tuesday, she was still in the building when Marcus and his crew came through. Most executives either ignored the cleaning staff entirely or gave a vague nod of acknowledgement before ducking back into their offices. Victoria had always made it a point to actually say goodnight. Not performatively, just because her mother had raised her to see people. She was walking back from the kitchen with a glass of water when she noticed him through the glass wall of the main conference room. He was wiping down the long table, methodical and focused, working from one end to the other with this quiet efficiency that was almost meditative to watch. His shirt was a plain gray company-issued uniform that pulled slightly across his shoulders when he reached across the surface, and she caught herself pausing in the hallway for reasons she immediately questioned herself about. She knocked lightly on the open door. He turned, not startled, just calm. The kind of calm that comes from someone who has nothing to prove and no energy to waste on pretense. She introduced herself, not as the CEO, just as Victoria. He told her his name was Marcus, and here is where most people's assumptions about this story would get it completely wrong. What happened next wasn't a dramatic sweep of romance or a transaction dressed up in warmth. What happened was a conversation, a real one. The kind that 2 tired people have late at night when all the performance of the day has worn off and there's nothing left but honesty. She asked how long he'd been with the cleaning company. He told her a few months. She asked if he liked it. He paused before answering, which she respected, and said he liked that it was reliable. She nodded like she understood what that meant without needing the explanation. He asked what kept her in the office so late. She said the honest thing, which was that she was better at work than she was at going home to an empty apartment. They talked for maybe 15 minutes. She thanked him. He finished the conference room, and that was that. Except it wasn't. Because the next Tuesday night she was there again, and she brought 2 coffees to the break room and left one on the counter with a sticky note that just said, "For the late shift, no big deal." Marcus saw it. His supervisor saw it too and raised an eyebrow. Marcus shrugged and drank the coffee. The weeks that followed had this gradual warmth to them. She started timing her late nights to coincide with when she knew the cleaning crew would be on that floor. Not in a way she had fully admitted to herself yet. She would tell herself she just needed to finish one more report, respond to one more email. But she found herself walking to the conference room window more than the work required, and Marcus was not oblivious. He was a grown man who had been through enough to read a room. But he was also cautious in a way that went bone deep. He had Lily to think about. He didn't have the luxury of romantic complications. He had learned that lesson painfully. One night in early November, she asked if he wanted to grab a coffee after his shift ended. The building had a small cafe on the lobby level that opened at 5 in the morning for early arrivals. His shift ended at 4:30. She suggested they wait the 30 minutes. He almost said no. He ran through every reason why he should. The gap in their situations felt enormous to him. She was the CEO of the company whose building he was cleaning. That imbalance wasn't something he could just decide not to see. He had his pride, and he had his daughter, and he wasn't looking for anyone to rescue him from his life. He said yes, anyway, because something about her felt real, and real things were rare enough that he'd learned to recognize them. That first coffee turned into a Sunday morning tradition. She met Lily 2 months in. His daughter, in true Lily fashion, interrogated Victoria about her knowledge of the Cretaceous period within 4 minutes of introduction and declared her acceptable when Victoria correctly identified what a Pachycephalosaurus was. Marcus had never loved his daughter more than he did in that moment. But here is the part of this story that matters most. And it's not the romance arc, though that part is genuinely beautiful. It's what happened professionally. Victoria had been watching Marcus work for months, not in a passive way, in the way that someone who runs a company looks at a person and starts cataloging what they're actually made of. He was precise. He managed his small crew with this natural low-key authority that got results without drama. He problem-solved on the fly. He never complained, but more importantly, he never checked out. Even at 2 in the morning scrubbing a kitchen, he brought the same focus as if it mattered. She mentioned to her operations director that they had a staffing gap in their facilities and property management division. She may have mentioned a name. Marcus went through the full application process. She recused herself from the hiring decision as a matter of integrity. He got the offer because he was qualified. He almost turned it down because it felt uncomfortably close to something being handed to him, and his whole life had been built on not needing that. She found out he was hesitating, and she told him one thing. She said the job was real, and the qualifications were real, and the only thing his pride would accomplish by refusing it was teaching Lily that certain doors weren't meant for people like them. He heard her. He took the job. That was 14 months. Egobont today, Marcus is the facilities operations manager for Hartwell Innovations. Lily just turned 8 and recently informed him that she wants to be a paleontologist, which Marcus is taking very seriously. He and Victoria are taking it slow, the way 2 people take it slow when they actually have something worth being careful with. And late at night sometimes, when the office is quiet and the cleaning crew comes through, Marcus makes sure he knows every name. He leaves coffee in the break room, not on a sticky note. He just makes sure it's there, because he remembers what it meant when someone saw him. Not the shirt or the shoulders or the surface of a moment, but actually saw him. The man behind the mop, the father behind the exhaustion, the person doing whatever it takes who also happened to be worth knowing. Life doesn't announce the moments that change everything. They just arrive, and what matters is whether you're awake enough to recognize them when they do. Marcus was, and everything, slowly and genuinely and without shortcuts, changed from there.